This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News.
An MSUM student is sharing what it's like to be a woman in the military and what still needs to be done to make it more equitable.
M-State students are getting the chance to learn by serving their community.
Bison football players worked out for a chance to achieve their dreams.
It goes without saying, this visitor stop at Concordia was a rare opportunity for students to learn a unique art form. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Sayla Jakeaway.
And I'm Chris Hovden. MSU Moorhead is honoring its female veterans and active service members less than 80 years after the Women's Armed Services Integration Act made women permanent members of the U.S. military.
I spoke with the MSUM student and active duty member as she redefines what it means to be a soldier. In 2016, all roles, including frontline combat, were fully open to women. Fatima Saron Parada is a current MSUM student and active duty soldier, serving as a 13th Bravo Cannon Crew member. Fatima moved from Mexico with her family and soon after joined the U.S. military.
Talking with my parents, I started thinking about what I wanted to do and how could I help them. So I see like an opportunity in the military that was given to me and that I could help my family and myself.
Fatima shared her experience as part of a panel for an event titled Speaking of Service, Her Voice. She says being a woman in the military has challenges.
Kind of hard because you have to work along with guys that are like double my size, just like height and weight. They're stronger than a woman, and you gotta meet the standards that I put for guys.
Many people have in their mind what a veteran looks like, and usually it's somebody that looks much more like me than someone like you. For our women that are currently serving, they make up over 17% of the active duty and over 20% of the National Guard and Reserve.
In addition to her responsibilities in the military, Fatima also has to manage her school studies.
The military also pays for my school, but you gotta keep your grades up. Keeping your military life and your educational life, it's a little bit hard, but you have to find time and be smart about the things that you're going to be doing during the day.
Women who serve in the military say more work is needed to make serving more equitable for women. This includes better uniforms and maternity support. Still, veterans say the military remains one of the most diverse communities in the country.
Racially, our military is more diverse than the American population as a whole.
It's 2025, we have so many more females in the military.
What allows us to be so successful in what we do because we are so diverse.
Sayla Jakeaway, Campus News. MSUM's Executive Director for Facilities Management, Brenda Norris, was also on the panel. She served in Operation Desert Storm.
A suspect in a murder case that rocked the Minot State campus almost 20 years ago has been found not guilty. Nicole Rice was on trial for the 2007 murder of her roommate, Anita Knutson. She was found stabbed to death with a pocket knife believed to be the murder weapon also found in the room. Rice wasn't arrested until 2022. Prosecutors argued that she had staged the scene by cutting a window screen to make it look like a break-in. Nearly 24 witnesses were called, but there was no physical evidence actually tying Rice to the killing. The defense argued that Rice had been wrongly charged due to pressure from the media in a case that was covered nationwide.
Concern is rising among the international student community after 2 Minnesota college students were detained by ICE within just 2 days. These protests started with the arrest of a U of M Twin Cities international graduate student at an off-campus apartment. Homeland Security says they were arrested after the State Department revoked their visa due to a prior DUI. A Minnesota State University Mankato student was also detained at an off-campus home. In a letter to students and staff, the university president says they have not been given a reason and have not gotten any information from ICE. For international students on campuses, the arrests are worrying.
Being an international student here and thinking ICE is around us every time, that's kind of concerning.
Police in Mankato say they were given no information about the arrest and have not had any communication with ICE.
M-State Moorhead's dental hygiene clinic gives students and community members a chance to get their teeth cleaned for lower costs. In exchange, The college's dental students get to practice on real patients. Reporter Derek Fingston shows us how the clinic works and how the hands-on experiences impact students' education.
Students are grinding away at their degrees at M-State's dental programs.
This is kind of fun. I like this.
Dental students have a special opportunity to get both hands-on experience in their industry and perform a service to the Fargo-Moorhead community.
I think it's a great experience. It was a little nerve-wracking going into it right away, you know. You're just kind of thrown into it, but it's such a good experience and everybody is so helpful.
For years, the dental hygiene clinic at M-State's Moorhead campus has offered low-cost dental cleanings and checkups to locals, regardless of their insurance status.
At our dental clinic, we see thousands of people a year from the surrounding area. We have regular clients, people who will come to us because they like the idea of helping in a teaching, learning environment. We'll have students who maybe haven't had their teeth cleaned in longer than they should have. Our dental students will grab them and, hey, you haven't had your teeth cleaned in a while, come on in.
Things are a little bit slower paced because they are learning, so it is a learning environment.
While the clinic's clients receive the benefits of having their teeth looked at, the students are excited to get critical practice outside of the typical classroom.
I like the hands-on and it's super vast. You can do a lot. With assisting, you do different things every day. You see a lot more, so I think that's more exciting.
Students' work at the hygiene clinic gets them ready to go right into the profession after school.
That works, yep, perfect.
Derek Fingston, Campus News.
Along with cleanings, the dental hygiene clinic provides preventative care, x-rays, and fluoride treatments.
NDSU is giving students a chance to travel across North Dakota to learn about the state's energy sector. 45 students will be selected as part of the Bison to the Bakken program. It's a 2-week, 3-credit course set to happen this summer in western North Dakota. Each student will get a $1,250 scholarship to help with tuition. Travel and lodging will also be covered. The students will learn about things like oil and gas, fracking, pipelines, along with talking to state legislators. Close to NDSU's campus sits one of the first Black-owned vintage clothing stores in Fargo. I spoke with the owner and NDSU grad himself about his passion for sneakers, clothes, music, and everything Bison. Inside 701 Kicks lies Tasty Vintage, 2 companies that blends the essence of music, sneakers,
so I love Nike Dunks, especially SB Dunks,
and fashion.
It's crazy because it's like a time capsule, you know what I mean? Like it reflects like culture.
NDSU grad Jan Nikita marks his 3rd year as owner of Tasty Vintage. He teamed up with 701 Kicks to open Fargo's first store, offering vintage apparel, sneakers, and collectibles. Jan shares his inspiring journey.
I'm originally from Burundi, Central Africa. I came as a refugee actually because of like some civil conflict in my home country. I watched my mom work really hard. Like my mom ran so that I could like walk.
Jan says being an entrepreneur is a way to give back to his family and those who came before him.
There's no better way to honor like my mother's efforts, my family's efforts, the people that never had an opportunity.
Jan says clothing plays a pivotal role in his life, shaping his personal style and the connections he builds.
I've gone to go buy t-shirts from a stranger and ended up having dinner with their family. It is like such a good way to connect not only to the world, but to each other.
And Jan, he knows his sneaker history.
So these are the Cali Highs. This is kind of an iconic shoe, like in sneaker culture, just like, it's just so California.
Beyond fashion, Jan credits his education for giving him the tools to run his store successfully.
I loved going to school at NDSU. I loved the experience that college gave me. It really taught me like balancing spreadsheets, finances.
Jan says Tasty Vintage has given him the opportunity to serve his passions, heritage, and community.
I wake up every day so excited to get to work. I get to wake up every day and chase my dream.
Sayla Jakeaway, Campus News. Jan started Tasty Vintage while in Florida. It's only been open in Fargo for about 6 months.
A Trump administration task force is reviewing billions of dollars in federal funding at Harvard. The administration accuses the school of not doing enough to address anti-Semitism on campus and failing to protect students during protests. The task force will review more than $255 million in federal contracts and nearly $9 billion in multi-year grants. The university's president says Harvard will work with the task force to show its work combating anti-Semitism and find more steps they can take.
Meanwhile, Princeton says research grants to its university have been suspended by the federal government. The university's presidents say they haven't been given an explanation for the cuts. However, they are among more than 50 schools being investigated by the Department of Education over alleged anti-Semitism on campus. Princeton's presidents say they are committed to fighting anti-Semitism and all forms of discrimination. UND's Aerospace Network is telling the story of a North Dakota aviation hero. The documentary, Carl Ben Eielson, Over the Top of the World, details the life of the pilot known as the father of aviation in Alaska.
Reporter Derek Fingston sat down with the director to find out what inspired the film.
I think we're ready to watch Carl Ben Eielson, Over the Top of the World. Thank you.
A documentary about North Dakota aviator Carl Ben Eielson flew into the 25th annual Fargo Film Festival.
Carl Ben Eielson is not only a hero, but he's almost an unsung hero. It felt like a natural story to tell. So few people know who he is that the story is fresh, even though he died almost a century ago.
Carl Ben Eielson was an aviator from Hatton, North Dakota, who became the first pilot to fly an Alaskan mail route in 1924 and co-piloted the first non-stop flight over the North Pole in 1928. Director David Kuznicki rediscovered Eielson's story while working on another documentary in Hatton.
Hatton is no more than a few blocks big. I mean, this is a small place, and yet this guy had such a profound impact that it literally changed the course of aviation.
Kuznicki is a video production specialist at the UND Aerospace Network. Carl Ben Eielson, Over the Top of the World is the first documentary the Aerospace Network has ever submitted to the Fargo Film Festival.
So Aerospace Network focuses on aerospace education, making sure that we get everything out to the broadest possible base of students possible. And part of that includes, luckily, thankfully, documentary filmmaking where we can kind of focus on the legacy of aviation in North Dakota, which is so rich.
Kuznicki says Eielson's journey resonates far beyond aviation enthusiasts, offering inspiration to anyone who dares to dream big. Derek Fingston, Campus News.
Carl Ben Eielson, Over the Top of the World, is available to watch on YouTube. Eielson's great niece is also working on making his story into a separate major motion picture. Minnesota lawmakers are considering two bills that could change how the North Star Promise works. The North Star Promise allows some students in Minnesota to go to college for free. The first bill would require scholarship recipients to live and work in Minnesota for 3 years after they graduate. If they don't, the money will turn into a student loan. The second bill would limit what programs students can be enrolled in. The eligible degrees would be based on the top 20 industries in the state and what jobs have the highest projected growth. Both bills have companions in the House and Senate and are being considered by the higher education committees.
After a nationwide search and more than 50 applicants, Dickinson State University has named its new leader. DSU alum Scott Melander will serve as the school's 14th president. He was the only finalist in the search that doesn't have a terminal degree. According to a 2017 study by the American Council on Education, 83% of U.S. college presidents have a doctorate. During the search process, he highlighted a people's first leadership style, saying building culture is a priority for him. Melander will start his new job on July 1st. NDSU welcomed almost 50 middle and high school bands to share their music and get feedback from some of the best musicians in the area.
Reporter Dallas Carell tells us how the Raging Red Band Festival helps all bands, big and small, get even better.
Thousands of students over 3 days came through the halls of the Reinecke Fine Arts Center on NDSU's campus. All here for the same thing, music. These bands all come to perform their music in front of 3 experienced judges. One of the judges is Colonel Jim Keene, a former member of the United States Army Band. Keene, as well as the other judges, are also helping these young musicians improve their art by putting on clinics to help teach the students about music. He says music helps them develop a key life skill.
One of the neatest things that we have as we go to school is an opportunity to join any kind of group. But you know, one of the proven groups is a band, an orchestra, a chorus, where you have to learn discipline.
John Warren, the festival's organizer, enjoys seeing that the bands, no matter the size, want to come and get better.
We had a band here today that had 5 kids in the band. It was wonderful. It was wonderful that these people want to improve. They want to come to something that is going to allow them to improve.
This festival has been bringing students here on campus for about a decade, and this year, they were able to fill all of the available slots, making it one of the biggest turnouts yet. Dallas Carell, Campus News.
This was somewhat of a comeback year after last year's festival was cut down to 1 day because of a blizzard. Getting accepted to college is a big accomplishment for any student, but imagine getting accepted to 155 colleges in all 50 states. That's the case for Chase Matthews of Georgia. So far, she has $6 million in scholarship offers. She says she wants to become a pharmacist and open a chain of both mobile and brick-and-mortar pharmacies.
For my grandparents and my parents, as I've seen their struggles with medicine affordability as well as accessibility. So I want to fix that problem in the Black and low-income communities in Atlanta.
Matthew says she is leaning towards Florida A&M, Howard University, or Ohio State.
Graduation is just around the corner, and some students at the University of Maryland will be celebrating with a unique commencement speaker. The school announced Kermit the Frog will be giving the speech to graduates. The university says the beloved Muppet will offer words of optimism and encouragement as students embark on a new chapter in their lives. Kermit has a long history with the school. Muppets creator Jim Henson graduated from the university in 1960. The campus garden even has a bronze statue of Kermit and Henson. It's one of the biggest days in these athletes' career. Bison football players took to the field for a chance to play in the NFL. Reporter Drew Berg met with players at Pro Day in Fargo to see how they are preparing for a career at the next level.
From running around cones to kicking field goals, Bison football players are showing off their talent to NFL scouts. The prospects go through a series of positional and agility drills. Also, the scouts get a better idea of who they are as players. 13 players participated at Pro Day, but 3 NFL draft prospects are standing out to teams. Offensive lineman Gray Zabel is projected for the first or second round, a feat rarely seen at the FCS level.
It's just been a lifelong dream to go out and do something like this, and being able to live my dream every single day is something I don't take for granted, and I'm super excited for the next 30 days or so and see what happens.
Zabel was an FCS All-American last season, an honor that he shared with fellow lineman Mason Miller. Miller is projected to get picked up as either a 7th-round draft pick or a free agent.
If I get drafted, it's a blessing, but to go somewhere is to be expected.
Another Pro Day standout is quarterback Cam Miller, the runner-up for FCS Offensive Player of the Year last season. Cam will likely be signed as a late-round pick or free agent, but all he wants from an NFL team is a chance.
Either way, I'll be happy. I just want an opportunity. I don't know what the scouts are going to do or what the GM of an organization will do, but I controlled everything that I can control.
52 former Bison have gone on to play in the NFL, with 12 players on NFL rosters last season. Drew Berg, Campus News.
This year's NFL Draft is scheduled for April 24th through the 26th. UND Hockey has named their new head coach, and he's not a new face to the program. After spending the last 19 years on the bench for the Fighting Hawks, Dane Jackson is now leading the program. He's been the associate head coach since 2015. He also has experience on the other side of the glass at UND. He played for the team between 1988 and 92, racking up 59 goals and 103 points in just 150 games. He also spent 11 years in the NHL. This act at Concordia College is thinking inside the box.
Reporter Dallas Carell tells us how this mime is passing on his art to the world.
You take those 5 pearls and then you run a string through them.
Inside Concordia's main theater, a group of students came to learn a new art, mime, the art of doing something with nothing. And to teach the students this skill is Bill Bowers, a world-renowned mime who has traveled the world performing and teaching the art of mime.
You want it? Flip the switch. Ooh, that was so beautiful.
In this workshop, he goes over some of the basics he taught himself when he was younger, hoping to pass on his passion to as many students as he can.
But it's leading you, you're not leading it.
Students like Zach Chemnitz.
Very good, look at you.
You only really hear about mimes just from other people and as jokes. So to actually find a real one who knows what he's doing and is a professional and studied under the best mime, it's a super cool and honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Bowers encourages students like Zach who have an interest in the art to reach out to him for questions, going to show his dedication for keeping mime alive.
I mean, I love performing it and I'll keep performing till I can't anymore, but I like teaching the idea of what mime is and the history of it, because just by nature of what mime is, it's imaginary. You know, it's just you and air. Yeah, oh, very good, excellent. Yeah. So you have to pass it on body to body to body, otherwise it won't exist.
Bowers says he wants to be the voice of encouragement for people, the type of support he had when he was young. Dallas Carell?
I just made this up. I call this the crush.
Campus News.
Bowers spent years traveling and performing with the world-famous mime, Marcel Marceau. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with some miming instructions of your own.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Yeah, the space is changing. Very good. And now, right now, pause. And right where you are, there's a dot right within reach. You see it? You want it? You get an impulse at your heart? Okay, do me a favor. Hold on to your dot and get your body as far away from it as you can. Think extreme. Extremely far away. Very good. One more thing. The dot is taking you extremely high and extremely low. It's leading you. Very nice. And right now, freeze. Hold this position. So I'll make a move and you mimic me. So now I've just changed my hands, you might notice. Now we're doing basically the palette. Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, nice. Now this is wacky. I don't know if you realize this.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead, in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.
Beautiful. Good, good, good.